You're on mute, B.
Man, I'm welcoming everybody and you can't hear nothing. Welcome everybody to the call, man. We appreciate everybody getting on. Guys, we have a special treat tonight. But first, we're going to get into a little bit of information. Guys, you may have gotten invited on this call tonight because you were asked to help somebody with their training. You may be interested in extra income or just be trying to get your finances on track. Guys, in 2021, we are dropping some great information so that people can understand exactly how to do that for themselves. Guys, my name is Brandon Stanberry. I'm a regional vice president with this great company. I started with the business several years ago just to make a little extra income. But my wife and I also need to get ourselves on track financially, and that's exactly what this company was able to do for us, folks. Listen, we took advantage. We got in and really kind of just started getting some things in order. Thank God there was a part-time opportunity to bring that extra income in with the company. I'm a chef by trade, but this company allowed me to be able to transition out of my chef career and be able to build a business here full time. I'm a regional vice president now, on our way to a six-figure income. And guys, we're looking for people that want to do the same. So, man, we have a special treat tonight. We have our senior national sales director guy, very successful man that's in business. I'm going to do a real introduction to him later, but we're excited about Mr. George Hairston being on the call tonight and dropping some knowledge. But first, guys, we're going to get into a little bit of information about our company. We're going to touch on a few things, but we want to save the grand finale for our head coach. Guys, to get us started, to kind of talk about who we are as a company, right? The credibility of our company. We're going to bring up my cousin that has been on fire, man. He's been rocking and rolling with the company, came into the business with me several years ago just to make a little side money. Now he's on his way to becoming a regional vice president with the company. Y'all give it up for Mr. Charles Muhammad. Come on, Chuck.
Man. Thank you. Just to tell you a little bit about myself, barber by trade, owned a barber shop for the past 20 years, was a barber for the past 25 years. Well, during COVID, you know, all the barbershops had to shut down, right? So look, me having a spare tire in my back pocket, what I mean by a spare tire, right? Well, when do you need a spare tire? When you in the bind, right? That car pull over, you ain't got no spare tire, your journey stops, right? Well, look, COVID shut the shop down. We were all at home, right? I made $4,000 from my computer because I had already started the process of building me a business outside of my business. See, what happened was I thought I was a business owner, but I just owned a job, right? To be a business owner, you have systems in place that pay you regardless if you're there or not, pay you while you're sleeping, right? And so what this business does is it gives you the opportunity to wake up and have money deposited into your account and you ain't have nothing to do with it. You really did because it gives you the opportunity to build a business. We'll talk about that a little later. But I just wanted to tell you a little bit about myself. Sold my barbershop, and now I'm preparing to become a regional vice president like my cousin to go win for my family, get ownership. Look, folks, this company will keep your income coming into your family if you dead and gone, if you build it right, right? Who else is giving you the opportunity to do that? So look, I get a little long-winded. I'm gonna get into sharing about this great company of ours, right? You know, Google this. We have the most 6- and 7-figure earners of any other company in the country, right? Why is that a good fact? That's a good fact because you can also reach that type of income. And so who are we? We're the largest independent financial services marketing company in North America. We have 135,000 licensed representatives. Folks, we trying to push that thing to 150,000 because we just believe with the greatest army, you can do the greatest amount of good, right? And so with that as our aim and our motto, it led us to be listed on a New York Stock Exchange under the ticker PRI. You see this big old beautiful red banner? Well, they put this up when we debuted in 2010 at $15 a share. Folks, look, today we trade at $130 a share. Now, you don't have to know much about the stock market to know that that's tremendous, outstanding growth, right? And so you can't be a scam and be a publicly traded company. So don't you worry about nobody after your money. We're trying to help families out here, right? Look, we've been in business since 1977, 43 years of outstanding, amazing success, right? We have more than 5 million lives insured through our life companies. We pay $3 million in claims per day. And we have 2 million investment clients that trust us with their money. Now, speaking of trust, when you're talking about money, trust is a very good attribute, right? Because if you had to give your cousin some money, your sister some money to loan, you want to make sure you're going to get your money back, right? Well, look, Forbes magazine in 2015. Now, if you know anything about Forbes, you know you can't just raise your hand and get in there. You have to be doing some outstanding work or taking advantage of some people, right? Be a bad financial company. Well, we were on the top end of that. Forbes rated us as being one of America's most trustworthy financial companies. Look, we were very proud of that article, right? We were actually 13th on the list of 50, right? So look, speaking of trust, our investment brand has won the Dalbar Mutual Fund Service Award for 18 years running, right? It says 15 here, but we didn't want it 3 years after that. Our insurance brand is A+ rated, right? And so that just means that we pay our claims and we handle customer complaints. It's rated by AM Best, like your Better Business Bureau when it comes to financial services. Now, look, if you know anything, you have never seen a commercial about a Lamborghini or a Rolls Royce or anything like that. And you know what else you ain't never seen a commercial about? Primerica, right? Because we have accomplished all this without any national TV or radio advertisement. See, our company would rather pay their agents very well and offer our clients better products than spend hundreds of millions of dollars in advertising, right? Give that money to me. I'll go market myself to my people. So look, I know you said that article in Forbes was in 2015. June 2020, Primerica was named to the Fortune 1000. You're probably more familiar with the Fortune 500, right? Well, those are the top 500 companies in the country. We're proud to be, out of hundreds of thousands of companies in the country, we're proud to be in the top 1,000. And we ain't gonna stop till we get in that top 500, right? And so we're so proud of that, right? And so look, with all those accomplishments, our mission statement is simple. Our mission is to help families earn more income. Folks, when we sit down with people, we find that they just aren't earning enough money to live the lives that they deserve to live or they desire to live, right? And so look, an extra $500 and $1,000 will help every family that we know, right? I know it would help you. What would you do with an extra $1,000? Well, you can get that by coming with us part-time, spare time basis, right? If you didn't have any time, you could join the company, you can port the figure to us, and we can help you earn that money, right? So there's many ways and many opportunities to make money here, and you can do that with our opportunity, earn more income. Then we help families become properly protected. Now, look, folks, insurance on your job is like your desk at your job. It was there when you got there, and if you get fired, or you go to another job, a better job for you, it's just like that job. That insurance is going to stay there. Now, you would have to agree that it's better to own your own policy that you control, that travels wherever you go, right? If you go to the moon, your life insurance coverage is with you because it's not in nobody else's hands. You have the power, right? And so look, then we help people become debt-free, right? Well, our paychecks never came with an instruction manual. And look, you probably know somebody who lives paycheck to paycheck, right? Hey, it might be one of us on the line. Well, that's because, you know, we find ourselves in debt. And when we don't have enough money, we slap that credit card down and try to pay the minimum balance. Well, we help you figure out how to get out of debt and stay out of debt, right? And start putting your money in proper places so your money can grow and not just go, right? Look, and then becoming financially independent. Right? Whether it's through our opportunity or it's through the investing and proper protection, we help you save money and put your money in the right places. Now, speaking of financial independence, right? We have partnered with a lot of great companies. And when you come into business and partner with us, you have all of these companies at your beckoning call. See, this right side of the circle, these companies are Fortune 500, 100 to 500 companies that sought Primerica out wanted us to offer their services to our clients. Now look at this. This company will pay for you to get your investment license so you can help the people in your family and in your community start saving properly and educate them on finances and putting money away so we don't work all of our lives, right? And so speaking of financial independence, we do 401ks for small businesses. Look, these are household names: Voya, Equitable, American Fund. We do annuities, right? AIG, Bright House, Lincoln. We do managed accounts. If you came with $2 or $3 million, we can help you too. See, look, folks, only with Primerica can you start investing with $25 to $50 a month, right? But if you ain't got no money, or if you got a whole lot of money, we can help you, right? We have something for everybody. Look, mutual funds, Legg Mason, American Fund. We do our mutual funds, right? But look, on the left side of this circle, our life insurance. This is our foundation, right? This is our bread and butter. Foundation to every financial plan is life insurance, right? Before your money accumulates, you have to secure your money. Look, Vivid Smart Home, the #1 smart home company in the country, right? All we do is refer. We find somebody that needs a service, we put them on the phone with Vivid. We hands-free after that. They do all the selling. They go out and do it installing, and they pay us $250, sometimes $500 a month just for one client, just for connecting the dots. How many times would you do that, right? Then look, Auto and Home, Answer Financial, the largest auto and home brokers, $84 every time we just put somebody on the phone and we actually save them money, we get paid. Mortgages, we're getting ready to roll the mortgages out in Missouri, there in Texas and other states. But if you know you got a couple of friends that's a realtor, you can be their mortgage person, right? Helping people refinance and get home loan. And then last but not least, we do ID theft, ID protection, right? With ID defense. One of the biggest problems we have is our IDs getting compromised. You know, we are internet business. People have been shopping with Amazon since the door's been closed, right? And so we can help make sure that your ID is protected and you have the proper defense. And then last but not least, Primerica Legal Protection Program, 365-day, 24-hour access to a full-time law service. Whatever your law needs are, they can handle it, and you already have a lawyer in your back pocket. How many people have ticket problems, right? How many times have you had a dispute at a store or at a car lot and you couldn't get no help? Well, you put a phone call into them and they write them a letter and they answer the phone, start calling you ma'am and sir, right? So look, folks, that's I just wanted to tell you about our company. See, look, whether you need help, life insurance, or you need to invest, we can help you here. But you can come here and actually become financially independent with our company. So that's my portion. I'm going to turn it back over. Please receive Regional Vice President Brandon Stanberry.
Man, Chuck, we appreciate you, brother, for breaking that down. Hopefully people recognize the credibility of our company. My job before we bring up our guest speaker for the night is just to kind of help people understand a little bit about one of our core products, but also mainly how we get paid and how Mr. Hairston, who's going to be closing us out tonight, how he reached where he was able to reach, because he helped our families out here. He helped our community with a lot of life insurance. He built a business where we could help people make sure they got that in place, man. How many times have we seen somebody died and they didn't have no life insurance coverage? But what I understand, folks, is that most people don't understand how much coverage that they even need. A lot of times they don't know what type of coverage that they need. We talk individually about that with individuals, but most people don't know how much they need. So we drop a simple concept called the dime on them, right? We drop dimes, right? In this case, guys, the D in the dime stands for death and debt. Average funeral cost nationwide is actually $15,000. Now we in the Midwest, we probably could get something for less than that, right? Probably get something for $7,000. But the cost of living is going up, and so is the cost of dying. And so we put, in this case, $15,000 for that person's final expenses, right? The problem in the Black community, right, is that most of the time that's where the conversation stops, right? Most of the time that's the only thing they talk about is burial plans. But the last time I checked, it's still some bills that's going to be there when we die, right? not if we die, when we die. So we want to make sure that these credit card debt and car loans can be paid off and don't get passed on to our loved ones. So in this case, they needed $15,000 to satisfy that. But now when you talk about life insurance, it's really about the people that you love. Because when you die, folks, your paycheck dies too. So the I in the dime is for income. And so this person here would have needed $2,000 coming in every single month without fail if something was to happen to them. Most of us were never taught about income protection. And so we take that over the course of 12 months, right? Well, that's protection for 1 year. But if you got babies, they would have needed you for a lot longer. They would have needed mama and dad for a lot longer than that. Or if you got a spouse. So we protect by rule of thumb. The experts say you want to protect your income for a period of 10 years. That gives us a good transition from life with you to life without you. And so that gives you $240,000, guys. Most of us don't even know anybody who died and left somebody that kind of money. But if they were educated, they probably would have. Then there's the mortgage. They don't want to lose the house after you die. And so, guys, we put enough in place to where the house note can be paid, or the house could be just paid in full. So that's $100,000. And then the last thing, if they have one child, and guys, anybody on here that has children, and I do as well, you want your child to have a step up in life if something happened to you versus having to struggle. And so they put 60 grand in place just to take care of the education. Now, guys, that's $430,000. I know that looks like a lot of insurance, don't it? But it's really not. Guys, if this was your family and these were your numbers, what on here could you say, my family don't need that? Exactly, I hear you. They need all of it. So our job here at Primerica is very simple. We don't even have to convince you that you need life insurance. The dime dictates that. Our job is to help you get as close to what your need is, but at a cost you can afford. Now, guys, the last piece that I have to share is how do we actually get paid? Guys, I believe that most people, if they knew how we got paid in the life insurance and the financial industry, they probably would have got involved a lot sooner. And so we always show them three options, folks. We're going to show them a basic, a better, and a best. Yeah, they may need their best plan, but maybe they can't afford their best plan. So we're going to get something that's going to be a little more doable. So let's say that they pick this plan in the middle, folks. That's $83 that that family's going to pay for the month. Well, that actually equates to about $1,000 for the year that that client is paying. Well, guys, listen, let's talk about our income opportunity for a second. Whether you're talking about spare time or part-time, let's say that you came in and you helped this family. We're going to field train you and get you to what's called a district leader, folks. A district puts you at a 50% contract, 50% of that $1,000 that the client was paying for the year. So if you look at that, guys, you're positioning yourself to make $500 for helping a client get something they needed in place. Now, folks, the biggest benefactor is of course, going to be the client, because you're talking about protecting them with $300,000, but y'all don't mind getting paid $500, right, for helping them. Now, how many hours do you have to work on your regular job to make $500? It's probably not an hour, folks. And so what we're talking about is making $500 in 45 minutes to an hour. So now you ask yourself, how many policies do you want to write at that point? And that's just one of our services. But guys, you keep on hearing us talk about RVP. Guys, at the RVP contract, you've basically given yourself a 60% raise, folks, because if you did that same policy as an RVP, that puts you in ownership status. That puts you where you're running your own business, baby. And if you're there, would you mind if the company paid you $1,100 versus $500? I don't think you would, right? And so we want to make sure that we show you how to do that. But now that's not the end of the game. Guys, you might want some passive residual income. And so if you look at this, folks, let's say you were the RVP, and let's say you had a district and the district helped their family or helped a family, they would make $500. But folks, you're going to get paid the difference between your contract and theirs as an RVP, because the company's still going to pay out $1,100 no matter who writes the policy. And so what we're saying is, because you have a business in place, guys, you're going to get paid $600 because your district leader went out and helped the family. Guys, if you had 10 districts that help one family apiece in a month, that's $6,000. Now, I'm going to flip through these names and these pictures. Who on here could use an extra $6,000 this month or sometime soon, right? Anybody. And so you're getting it in a way where you're benefiting people. Guys, the more people you bless, the more money you make. I'm gonna say that again. The more people you bless, the more money you make. But now somebody might say, I just want to make some money on referrals. Guys, we have an excellent referral program. Chuck just told you that we get paid $84 every time somebody saves money on auto and home insurance, right? As a district leader, that's what you make. But now if you do that 3 times a week, guys, that's 12 times a month. That's that extra 1,000. As you all agreed with us earlier, everybody could use that. And to do what? To point somebody in the right direction, put somebody on a 15-minute phone call. I think it's well worth it. But let's say if you want to go to that RVP level, right? And our guest speaker is going to talk real heavy about the power of being an RVP. But watch this. Go find 10 people, guys, that want to make $1,000. Okay, 10 people that want to make $1,000. Y'all know some people right now that want to make $1,000, or even less than that would be cool for them. But every time they put a referral through, you're going to get paid $43.50. Not a bad deal at all. But guys, look at this. If you got 10 friends helping 10 families, that's 100 referrals coming through the pipeline. Now what is your income up to? You're over $4,000. We get paid on referrals and renewals as well, I should say. Not as much, but you still got another $1,500. Guys, that's $6 grand almost that you're up to in this as well. Folks, it's plenty of money to be made. It should be no shock to us on here that there's a lot of money that can be made in the money game. We were just never given a way to get in the money game until Primerica came around. Guys, you go into your next year of business, that just increases. Everything doubles, folks. And now you position yourself for about $8 grand a month. Now, I don't know if anybody on here would like that to happen. I'm just telling you that it can happen right here in our business, in this great business called Primerica. You can use Facebook and Instagram to do it. Everybody on there anyway, right? Now they got something called Clubhouse. I don't even know what the heck that is. But anyway, people getting on social media stuff, use it to your advantage, folks, so that you can make money. People are on these outlets all day. And the only thing it would take you to get involved is the cost of your certification and licenses. Yes, we are a licensed regulated business, folks. And normally it's $124 to get involved, $99 for your licensing and $25 that runs your business every month. But guys, our great company did this for a New Year's special right now. This is discounted down to $74 instead of $124. So guys, this is for a limited time that you can go into business for yourself and position yourself to make this kind of money, guys. And you can take care of that on your MasterCard or Visa. So guys, listen, I know we threw a lot at you in a brief period of time, but man, it's really that simple, folks. But I have the pleasure and privilege right now to introduce our guest speaker, our keynote speaker for the night. Guys, I've known him for several years. I've been in the business for quite a while, over 10 years. And when I first met him, he came into the room and he was one of the smoothest brothers I had ever seen, man. And he just looked like he was successful. You know, but sometimes people can look like they're successful and not really be successful. Guys, he was the picture of success. Guys, he is an AALC council member. That's an African American Leadership Council. Guys, that means he made a minimum of $200,000 a year to get on that council. But today he makes about $600,000, folks, on his way to $1 million a year. Guys, he came from being a social worker making $32,000. Now, some of us on here can relate. We've been in a job situation. We wasn't getting paid what we wanted. But guys, he didn't stay closed-minded. He opened his mind to the opportunity. And all these years later, he's been able to accomplish great things. He is a national sales director with our company. And guys, I'm just so excited to be in business with him. So many things I could say about him. But y'all give it up right now for our man of the hour. Our man of the hour, right? Mr. George Henry Hairston.
Let's go, Coach. Let's go.
Well, thank you for that outstanding introduction, Brandon. And first, giving all praise and honor to God. I definitely have to do it after that introduction because my head was swelling as you were talking about me. And I want to compliment you guys on an outstanding meeting as you shared what our mission and our message is. And can you hear me clearly? Okay.
Yes, sir. We got you.
Okay. So I want to get into a few things. It's not a lot that has to be covered because we actually could have ended the meeting with what you all summarized with. We go back to what's being written today about in communities and what's happening with employment and the position that people are in and the American economy changing, know that we got to adjust to something because things are not going to be the way that they've always been. So I was a social worker with the state of Illinois. I investigated child abuse and neglect. And what happened is I was living paycheck to almost the next paycheck. Now, I'm gonna give you a little bit of my story because my mindset in that process is I was looking and I was saying, man, there has to be a better way. I had fulfilled all the things that I was told to do. I was told to get a good college education, stay out of trouble, first of all, so avoid all the traps, get a college education, come back and get a good job. But all of a sudden, whenever I went to make money, I was living paycheck to almost the next paycheck. And so I was sitting around with one of my coworkers and we were trying to figure out what could we do. See, we were part of that group that before about 2 days before payday or 3 days before payday, we would get our change and we would collect it. And then we would go to the bank to, put the change converted into cash because we were short. And so we were always looking for ways to get extra money, the same way the world is today. Now, my talk will be about that we're just like you, or we're just like the people that we pass by every day. And we looked at this and it made sense and we charged into it. So as I looked at this, I was a social worker, had a so-called good job, but it wasn't working. I was invited to a meeting similar to this, but it wasn't as many people. It was 3 people at the meeting that I went to. And I listened to what they were saying. And in the process of listening, I was able to figure out, I said, man, this is what I've been looking for because they're going to educate me about money. See, in all my years of school, I never had a class called money. And I thought about the role of money in our lives. We work for it. We spend it. There never is enough of it. We get it on Friday, and some people say now it's going on the Wednesday before the Friday that you get it. Our churches need more of it. It plays an important role in our lives, and yet and still there are still no classes on money. It's almost like it's a conspiracy. So I was going around trying to figure out a way to win or to at least get my bills connected. And I was introduced to a business, this business here, and they said I could make $250 a month. That's all I wanted to make. I said, if I made $250 a month, whenever the car got broke, I could fix it. Whenever I went on a date, I didn't have to wait until my date order. I could order right along with us. A lot of times guys, they have to sit there and wait for the date to order to determine if they'll eat. I said that I'd be able to fix things around the house. I'd be able to do extra things because I needed a way. I had looked at places like the Walmarts. We didn't have Walmarts then. We had Venture and stores like that. And I said, man, I could get a part-time job there. But when you think about it, on those jobs, you got to stand on your feet the whole evening. So what is it like for it to be a part-time job? I get off from work at my full-time job and I go stand up the next 4 hours dealing with working and people. That would have been exhausting. That's a challenge that a lot of us face even now. When we're looking for part-time work, it's going to have us on our feet all evening after a long day, away from our homes, away from our family. So looking for that answer, when I came to that meeting and I saw Primerica, I said, wow, I could make $250. But not only that, I started writing names while I was sitting there. Because I had friends, how we would borrow from each other. So when times got tough, which was every 2 weeks for one of us, then we would borrow money from each other. We borrowed, this person borrowed, this person borrowed. So I started writing their names down because I said, I have found the answer for us. I have found something that's going to make a difference. And I was sitting there having fantasies that I was going to be rich because I was going to be able to carry this message that obviously no one that I knew had heard or had seen that was going to make a difference in our lives. So I charged out of the meeting excited. I said, man, this is going to be incredible. I got home and it was kind of late, but I held up. And then when I got to work the next day, I started telling people about this incredible thing where we could go and make money, but we were doing good making money. The things that they shared earlier were instrumental in the survival of people. There are things that people actually need. They're financial necessities. They're things that we're taking advantage of on a regular basis. So when I arrived, I was excited. I was pumped up. I had found a way. We didn't have to go to the bank with that change no more. And I told my friends about it, and they said, man, what you talking about? That's a pyramid. I didn't know what the hell a pyramid was. I just equated it with Egypt and the pyramids, and everybody talk about how phenomenal they are. So they call themselves, they educate. Now they educate me, they give me advice, they educate me on what I should do business-wise. But mind you, these are the people that we were collecting change 2 days before payday. You understand what I'm saying? They had the answer, they felt like. So then they said, well, if you're gonna do this business, get with a real company, you know. So, you know, get one of the real companies. Don't get with that company. They would just shoot me down left and right. They hadn't seen it. They hadn't looked at it. And there's something that I talk about. I talk about the fact that what we look at today, if you go back in time and you look at companies like Facebook. Now, Facebook had come into our community. And one of our friends has said, get into it, let's look at it and so forth. And Zoom, and it's a couple of more of them out there that are big, that are doing phenomenal things. Well, if they had come into our community and they were talking to people about getting involved, we would be rich on this phone today. You see, because they talk about $10,000 in just one of those companies worth millions today. So I would have loved to have been able to offer that, but they didn't come into our community. They didn't come to talk to us. They didn't invite me to a meeting. I don't know if you got invited to a meeting. They ignored the whole scheme of the area that I was around, me and my friends and my associates. So we missed out on that opportunity. And I posed the question, where are the companies like that today? Which companies are emerging to become giants in the American economy that we could get into, we can get involved in on a ground floor level and make a tremendous financial difference in our business? Now, some of you may say, well, George, I wouldn't invest in Facebook because I'm not tech savvy. Some of you all may not even be on Facebook. But see, understanding ownership in those particular things will make a difference. Zoom, you say, George, I had to struggle. Do you realize that there are some people who didn't get on this Zoom or some other Zoom because they just ain't figured it out? They're not keeping up with the time. And so they'll use all kinds of things. If you saw Zoom or Facebook or one of those companies when they came out and you went and talked to your friend and said, man, I'm thinking about getting involved with this thing. You know, what do you think about it? Do you think it's something that will work? And they give us their opinion. And they give opinion like my friend gave me. No, you don't need to do that. Or we heard a couple today on our RVP meeting where the woman said she was adamant about they were not going to do that. And now they make $1 million a year. So so if I had listened to my friend, I wouldn't have stepped in. Now, mind me, I know when I said that we are just like you, the same stuff that happened back then happens today. And so in looking for something that's a ground floor opportunity that I could take advantage of, something that would include me, something that came into my neighborhood. See, because I can't downplay it because it came into my neighborhood. Yeah, I was living paycheck to paycheck. I was taking change to the bank, but they were offering me the opportunity of a lifetime. And so I couldn't look and say, well, if they offering it to me, it can't be that big. Uh-oh. I know nobody thinks like that. I know everybody got that together because what we say to ourselves makes a difference. But there are actually some people who say that, hey, you know, and you're offering it to me, it must not be that big. That shows how we've been beaten down. But what happened was I embraced it. I didn't get the opinion of any of my relatives that were negative that said, don't do it. Because I had seen the meeting. I had the concern about what was happening to us economically. I grew up in the civil rights movement. And so I saw the water hoses and the dogs being sicked on our people just because they wanted to be able to go to the lunch counter or go to the hotel or, you know, have equal right, drink out of water fountain that's not labeled colored and what. I saw all that and I saw it on television. And so I was concerned about the plight of people. That's why I chose social work as my profession. So as I came into this, I couldn't listen to somebody who hadn't seen, because I had been given a vision, just as some of you have. And I also know this, that when you come into a meeting, God can open your eyes and your ears. There's a saying, and it applies to many situations. I apply it to our situation. Though they have eyes, they do not see. Though they have ears, they do not hear. I thank God that he opened my eyes and my ears to see it. So what am I saying? I'm saying this is it. This is the Facebook. This is the Zoom. This is the opportunity that you've been looking for, that's going to explode right before your eyes. It's going to be something that's going to become, it's bigger now. I run into people that tried to discourage me before. They saw what I make now, and they say, man, I should have stayed with that thing. I should have took a closer look. I should have got involved with it. But see, one of the things that we were not taught was the science of business. Talk to me. We weren't taught the science of business. How do you recognize a business opportunity? Hell, we know how to recognize a good job, and I ain't knocking jobs. Don't get me wrong. I had a good job, but I was living paycheck to paycheck. Love my job. I was on time. I was there. I stayed late. I loved it to death, but I sure needed me some more money. Now, somebody had tricked me. Malcolm used to say, you've been hoodwinked. You've been tricked. You know, I don't know which part that applies, but I needed some answers, because I realized this, guys. When we look at people flying to the fancy places, going to wherever they want to, eating wherever in the fancy restaurant, that might not even be important to you. But even what Miles Monroe said, that his church, if I got somebody real involved in church, that they don't have to do a collection plate. We got guys in this company who support churches where they don't even have to do collection. But as I looked at all these good things that are happening in the world with other people living in fine homes and all that, I said, God put some of this here for his people. How do we get a piece of it? How do we can't just for us to applaud the drug dealers? Man, you know, got our kids admiring the drug dealers. You know, you wonder why they go bad, but hell, that stuff look kind of good to them. You say, well, they ain't supposed to be materialistic. They've grown into that. That's part of the American culture. That's the commercials that we see come on all the time. Feed that seed in us of being wanting a lot, wanting things that we can't necessarily afford. So when I saw that and I saw this, I said, this is the opportunity of life. This is something that I need to be a part of. But even more so than that, we can talk to you about the business side, which they did a brilliant job in the first part. I mentioned when I got in to make money for the business, but this is more than just a business. It's a cause. And it's not just a cause for Black people. See, this company was put together for white people. It's predominantly white. So the message that goes out is one that everybody needs. It's just that we are willing to go into our highways and our byways to serve our people and share the good news. Come on. That you ain't got to be poor no more. So don't you get a misconception and think, oh, this one of them one of them Black power companies, and they're gonna be, you know, they might not even pay. No. This thing is big. It's one of the 1,000 companies that they look at to determine how the American economy is doing. Talk to me. Come on now. Big. That's right. And so what happens is, as we look at this and we're on our journey, we look at the causal aspect. Because I told you I grew up in the civil rights movement. And when I looked at it, I do not, man, look, I want every ethnicity in my business. I want Asian, I want Black, I want Caucasian, I want any ethnicity that want, because everybody needs the message. And so as I look at our community, and the studies that have gone on where they talked about our community, I can't sit there and act like I got it all together financially. I can't sit there and act like when somebody gives this information, it don't apply to me. But I'm sitting there with some insurance, and if no insurance, or if I got some insurance, I can't understand it. I can't read it. I don't know what's happening with the policy. My whole family gonna be tricked when I pass away. They don't say, we thought he had some insurance. He said, no, they borrowed a little bit off this and they did this and we charged them interest. They ain't got no insurance. Ain't got no savings. We're not saving. If we're in a 401k, we don't know how to operate. So is this a cause for us? Yes, it is, because these are financial necessities that we're dealing with, and our people suffering with those things based on a lack of knowledge. I talked with a lady today. She's been a 401k for years, and she just don't understand how it works. She's just been putting it. Now she's at retirement. It's time to make a move. Well, what she said when she talked with the other people, they were talking over her head. She was acting like she knew this, she knew that. She said, thank God that I could talk with somebody like you who came from where I came from, who's been where I've been, that can share with me. Tell me this ain't no cause. Who's gonna talk to you about your finance? Who's helping you with your finances? You can't even get off a call like this and act like you got your stuff together. Because ain't none of us been taught to have our stuff together. It ain't been planned for that to happen. And so Primerica was a company that enabled me to go out and reach out to the people around me and talk to them about how things could be better. And as a result, we've made a tremendous difference in our community. Not only in the aspect of people earning money, because you look at St. Louis area, St. Louis Metropolitan is a hub. Man, we got at least maybe 10 people, maybe 20, who are making close to $400,000, $500,000 a year. They started off just like you starting off. They came to a meeting. They listened to what was said. And they said, may as well. May as well. At least the main thing I would get out of it is my finances will get together.
That's right.
And that's what I was able to do. When I came to this company, I couldn't even write a check. I didn't even know how to write a check. I didn't even have a checking account. I was operating, thinking I was smart, dressing sharp and all that, all flash and no cash, didn't even know nothing about no checking account. So they taught me about a checking account. Then when I got the checking account and I started writing the checks out to pay my bills, I was proud. That was a proud day. I got all my envelopes, and got them sealed and sent it off. Hadn't signed one check in the right place. That was the level of ignorance that I had, and I had a degree about money. And so what I'm saying is, it's not just a business, it's a cause. And what I say with people, basically, they've made it so easy for you because all you do is refer. All you do is refer to people, and then, business is taken care of. You got a support system. You can't use them as excuses, well, I want to spend time with the kids. Because like I said, the kids be in one room, we be in the other room. If them kids got a phone, they on their phone or their computer as much as they can, not always doing homework, but just doing their thing. You watching, if most of our men be watching sports, or they watching, what's that, the have and the have-nots, one of our favorite shows. Well, hell, I want to live in a house like Veronica live in. I want to drive some of them cars like Veronica drive. I ain't just here to watch her on TV with all them sporty clothes and stuff. And I'm into that stuff. I'm just saying, this is an opportunity where you can actually refer people to get involved. And that makes a huge difference. I go back to the Bible and I reference, and they talk about in the days, they said, men and women will become lovers of themselves. And I don't know if it say rather than God or others, but the reality is that a lot of people, you got to get fired up about the caring about us, the caring about making a difference, the caring about you got family members that don't have no insurance. They're not saving no money. You got people who lost their jobs and who were furloughed who need our help. You got people who are surrounded by, see, God has given us a tremendous economic opportunity. And that's why you see so much success occurring from those people who seize it. I don't care if you're scared to talk in front of people. They got people on there who will talk for you. I don't care if you don't spell that well. They got people who will spell for you. But we're trying to unite in this effort. Just like people unite to elect officials or elect different political figures and so forth, they work hard, they knock on doors. And then the person gets in And it don't make a big change for you at all, because you got to take a step in something like this, which is an economical movement that can change our lives and change. We're born in the projects. I mean, I come from the projects in East St. Louis. Escaped all kind of traps, things that was designed to catch me. Some of y'all got relatives that get caught up in it, you know, selling some drugs, smoking or doing some drugs, trying to steal some stuff to sell, trying in all kind of illegal answers that's been put before us to go out here and naked. I escaped all of those traps. Went to college, and they had a curriculum that was designed to flunk me out.
Come on, Joe.
And then all of a sudden, I moved into the work world. I had to go and beg for a job. I had a degree. You got a degree and you got to beg for a job. Then you take one of them jobs that don't pay you enough money. You struggling on the monetary level, but you got a degree. You're getting paid less. You're fighting through all that kind of stuff. You're going through the different challenges that we got. You're facing the challenges of the world. Last year I was paid $600,000.
Come on, man.
What do you do? What do you do?
Huh?
What do you do? The first month of checks, you can pay all your bills up for the year.
Come on.
For some years. That is the dream that I bought. That's what I stepped into.
Come on.
What if I had listened to my friends? What if I had listened to my family? What if I had been scared? What if I didn't see it, that I'm in a partnership, I'm in business for myself, but not by myself? And if I had not seen it and took that walk, $600,000, man, what would you do?
Real
That's
money.
the dream that we have, because my success is depending on how many more successful people that we have within our organization.
Come on.
We ain't trying to get you here so we can make money. We're trying to get you here so we can change the world, and that you'll have the money to go out and nobody can never put a thumb on you. See, during this corona, I ain't got to go outside if I don't want to.
That's right.
I can have them deliver everything. You say, well, I can do it too. I can do that too. But see, I don't hurt with it.
Come on, man.
You know, I can, as long as corona lasts, I can last.
Come on, man.
I can be, but it comes from taking that step. And the step is not closed. Too often in America, they close opportunities to be. We can't get the opportunity. That door does not open for us. The chance to build wealth or financial independence. You don't have to become wealthy, just finance. It doesn't come to us. It's not open up. You know, can you get me on? You know, for years, we asked wealth, can you get me on with Monsanto? Can you get me on with Anheuser-Busch? They couldn't do it. They didn't have the, those doors were closed. But this door is open. And it's evidence. It ain't a faith walk, it's evidence. You go out and buy them lottery tickets. Say, well, we might have saw you in line getting one of them tickets. You talking all that stuff. You go out one of them lottery tickets, prisoners of hope. And I'm not telling you don't do it, but understand the percentages of building something of substance is very slim. You online with a man who got paid $600. It wasn't no lottery ticket, whose job is to help you or put together a system where you could do it. That's and it's actually in motion right now in the St. Louis. This thing is in motion across the country. In my closing, some years ago, we were looking at the struggling in our community, saying, how could we really maximize and make a difference? And we said that the African Americans in the company were not united. All other ethnicities were. And it ain't no war type unity and all that crap. It ain't all this, it's just business unity. And so we went to our white CEO and we talked to him about putting together an African American Leadership Council because we wanted to make a difference. And we had to get more, we got to get that thing, each one teach one. Our people suffer based on a lack of knowledge. We've never taught the science of business. So we wanted to be able to reach out and teach our people business effectively. And so we met with him. And he actually went to the board, talked with some people and so forth. And some people were for it and some were against it. They thought it would be divisive, that it would be something that would pull us apart or something like that. I don't know how making more money was going to pull us apart, but that's what some people thought. So anyway, he went for it. He had the courage to do it. And he opened that up for us. Very few companies ever do something like that. But he put together that AALC, African American Leadership Council. And I believe last year alone, we probably produced 7 or 8 millionaires in that council.
That's right.
All because of what was taught, how we teach each other, how we encourage each other, how we're working on building. See, I was at a meeting, paycheck to paycheck. The little fee that they charge for you that really you invest to getting started, I didn't even have that. I was hoping he didn't make me pay it that night, and thank God he didn't. So I'm sitting there needing answers, suffering, and I had a decision to make. I could keep doing as I was doing. They said if you look at the last 5 years of your life, if you don't change something, the next 5 gonna be like that. So I could just keep doing what I was doing, or I could take a chance. And I could take a chance on the business. I can invest in the business. I couldn't fall into the other trap. See, the other trap is that we don't get involved in opportunities. We got a sensitivity to it. We say, no, give me something, because I was afraid of commission too. I said, man, they're gonna give me a commission? Nah, I want me a job. Well, why you gotta pay for a job? You get all that kind of stuff from people. So you fall into the trap of not understanding how this economy works. And so they want us to think that the job scenario, but everything in this economy is built toward businessmen and women, the tax code and everything. Primerica offers you the chance to take advantage of that with mentors and leaders. And so taking that chance, they tell us not to take chances. We have a fear of it in terms of business. But check this out. We'll take a chance on a girlfriend or a boyfriend in a minute. You know how we meet those significant others sometimes. We take a chance every time we drive down the street, hoping that car on the other side stays on the right side of the yellow line. Life is a chance, even more so now, because we still ain't sure how you get COVID. And so we're taking chances every day. And what I'm saying is you got a chance to get involved in something that if nothing else, you figure out how you can save your money, how you can invest, how you can get the right life insurance coverage. Then it's worth getting involved in. And that's what I saw. And I pray that he's allowed me to share some things with you where you could see it. I remind some of my pastor friends, they be preaching their heart out. And then when the service is over, you ask people, what was the subject? When they tell you, oh, you missed a good sermon. What was the subject? They look at you with a staring look. Then they go out on the parking lot and almost get in a fight over a parking spot. So you know that they weren't tuned into it. So the pastor said that he always has to deliver the message. And the message is designed for people to see it. But you can never make your move towards the message be influenced by other people in the wrong fashion. See, just because they didn't see it, don't mean that it didn't make sense. This makes a tremendous amount of sense. Now, those of us who are involved, our mission is to just share. Our job is to share the word to as many as possible. And then those people who are looking for us, who are looking for an answer, it's the right time in their life. I don't know what could be a wrong time, because all I got to say is, I want you to meet this friend of mine named Brandon, and he's going to share some things with you. Or, are you paying too much on car insurance? If we can save you some money, can we save you? Okay, great. I'm going to have this guy call you named Charles. I mean, it ain't hard at all. You ain't going to never come away bleeding. You ain't going to never come away, with your feelings hurt or nothing like that. But you cannot let other people determine what you're going to, because the timing is perfect. It's 2021. We got to make some moves. Each one helping one, doing something special, going out here to change the world. As Michael Jackson say, make this world a better place if you can.
Come on, George.
Out and touch somebody's hand and say, oh, Lord, George, you singing. I got some guests on here. They was about to join. Then you started singing. They said, oh, heck no. Anyway, thank you all for listening. I appreciate you allowing me to share. I hope that I didn't say anything to offend anybody. It's just my passion about this. You got to be passionate about something. Hell, I was passionate about the Steelers losing the football game this weekend. So you know I got to be passionate about my business. I got to be passionate about my community. I got to be passionate about changing the world. And if it's selfish of me, if I could tell a guy how he can start investing, if I could tell a guy he got the wrong insurance and I can get him the right insurance, if I could talk to him about a business opportunity that will make a difference in his life, that's selfish of me. And that's why I said in the scripture, it said they will become lovers of themselves other than God, because God wants us to serve people. That's how we get wealth. That's how we build it. And so it is not intended for us to be selfish. You got to spread the word. Thank you for listening.
Man, y'all give Mr. Hairston a hand.
All right.
I don't
Good
care
stuff, Coach.
if you're on here for the first time or you've been in the business. Man, he truly, truly blessed us. As they say, he blessed our souls tonight, right? Man, guys, my task is very simple, man. After a message like that, guys, this is meant for us to go into a movement, guys. We got to go do something with what he shared. Guys, typically, we want to greet our guests, okay? We have 3 types of people that get on these calls. Guys, if you're a number 3 type person, that just simply means that some of the products and the services that we talked about earlier, you know good and well you need to get some of those things in place. Maybe you're that person that needs some insurance for your family, right? So that you don't die and leave them with nothing or leave them struggling. Okay, maybe you need an investment plan. Maybe you need to get some things in order, get out of debt, whatever. If you're number 3, that's you. Guys, if you're number 2, that means that you took note of what Mr. Hairston just shared with us. And you like what you heard about the opportunity, and you need some services too, but you got some questions. You know, you just got a couple of questions that if we can answer your questions, you will be able to move forward in a great way. But guys, if you're a number 1 type person, man, something was said tonight to move your heart. And maybe you don't understand everything that was shared. Maybe you didn't get everything. Maybe something did go over your head. Maybe you jumped on a little late and you missed some of the things at the beginning that we talked about. But guys, I know this, if you're number 1, that means you're looking at your current situation and you know good and well that if you don't do something different, there's nothing that's going to change. So if you're number 1, that just means you're ready to run. You're ready to get involved. And we can explain it as we go, guys. This is on the job training, right? We're gonna train you and show you the way as we're moving you forward. So, guys, we want to greet our guests. If you are a guest on the call tonight, we just want you to unmute yourself real quick. Tell us who invited you on the call, and then whether you find that you are a 3, 2, or 1. 3, you need some services only. Okay. 2, you definitely like the business opportunity and you want to take advantage of that and the services. Or number 1, you just ready to run. You're ready to get started. Ain't no time like the present. So go ahead, guys. The floor is open.